welcome to Tales from the Tips. I'm DA. Alongside, not Mick Middlemo. Nope, I'm alongside the Chief Operating Officer for the Cima Restaurant Group, Mr. James Porcello, a regular guest on this podcast. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, Dave.
And here we sit in your place in Augusta, Georgia. Is
Best
Masters
place to
Week.
be this time of year.
It is the best place to be. We're at Twin Peaks in Augusta. What could get better? And beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather. It's going to be a nice week. Little breezy, but that's okay. It'll make the tournament a little fun.
You know what? They say the course is playing fast.
I believe it.
It's playing dry. That means
we've had no rain.
Shots are going to be at a premium. Oh, we said that word shot. To say something real fast. This gift right here, I'll make sure I get that logo in there so Mick can see it. What a wonderful gift. Thank you. In honor of my dad. So that you guys know, Mick is back home comfortably in Australia. He's dealing with some things with dad. He was planning on joining us today. However, some things came up. What we're going to do, if you're around, I know I'm around, we're going to be on our couches watching the Masters this weekend. We're going to go live on Riverside so that you guys can catch us. We're going to break down what's happening with the tournament in real time.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have some fun with that. Mick's going to join us for that. It'll be really early, so he'll probably be cranky, and he might not have a Diet Coke yet. But here's what I want to do. Real quick recap of JJ Spaun's win at the Valero Texas Open, and then we're going to get into the Masters. You and I did this show literally a year ago. We were just looking at each other before we started this recording. 1 year already since the last time we were here. August will be 2 years for the podcast.
Doesn't seem possible.
It doesn't seem possible. I remember telling you that we were going to take on this project, and you said, I'm supporting it. And I said, I don't even know what it's going to do. And you go, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. So we'll do that. And then, before we go into the open though, I do want to talk to you. We're here for, the Masters. I know this is our favorite week. You and I have talked about it. It's Mick's favorite week. Our radio station's right around the corner. What makes this week so special for you guys here at Twin Peaks, and most importantly, here at the Augusta location?
Well, I think more than anything is that it's more than just an event. The people who come to this event come year after year. We become a pretty big destination for a lot of people. They know they can count on us for the size of our building, the size of our tables. Groups of guys and gals, can come in and find a spot. You can watch all the Masters coverage. A lot of great news this year. We just found out we can do extra coverage starting at 1 o'clock on Thursday, Friday. Thank God. We finally opened that up to the fans. So it's a little bit of a lifestyle. We lose a lot of the people who live in Augusta this time of year. They rent their homes out, they leave, but we see a lot of repeat people from year after year that come into town for this.
And that's the one thing. So just so that everyone knows what James is talking about, as a restaurant, you can't just click on your Amazon Prime account and open it up and just turn it on all your TVs.
Correct.
You have to be a registered subscriber, and the subscribing service that you guys would normally use for that didn't have it until
the coverage doesn't start till 3 o'clock.
Right.
And for the first time, Amazon worked to deal with the Masters.
Yep.
And they're going to broadcast starting at 1 o'clock. And up until literally maybe 3 hours ago, we had no access to that. To your point, I can't just hook my Amazon Prime account up in the restaurant and show their feed.
Right.
But now through one of our subscribers that we use, they work to deal with Amazon on the back end to broadcast. So now we'll be able to show it live at 1 o'clock, which is great, right? Yeah. Everybody, we still, to this day, people come out every year, hey, put the Masters on. And we're like, it's not on. And they're like, yes, it is. No, it's not. You have to have those conversations and explain it. And it's ridiculous. It's for the people. It's for the consumer. People want to watch it. Yeah. We got to be able to provide. So it's really exciting for us to be able to show it starting at 1 o'clock.
Well, and this is a big week just in general for your business, because you've got all these people coming into town, and it's a great way for you guys to showcase not only the scenic views, the but your incredible menu
Absolutely.
that you guys have
Yep.
here at Twin Peaks. One thing I and like we were talking about, the Masters has done a great job with their app. You can follow it, like literally, I can sit anywhere.
Yep.
Problem is as a business owner, you can't just throw it up on one of the screens. You have to have a license to
Correct.
do that. So great to see that. Excited. We're excited.
Absolutely.
For this one. So we'll do that. I'm going to ask a couple questions. One, I'm going to ask you for your pick. Mick and I did ours back in December. I was going to ask Mick if he wanted to have another pick, but because he was crying about it, even though he has a 2-stroke lead. We won't do that. To get into a couple of things. First time since 1994. No Tiger Woods, no Phil Mickelson. So we'll touch on that. Like I said, we're going to touch on JJ's win. Also, we're going to take a couple looks at caddies behind some of the guys, the top contenders that currently do not have a green jacket. So we'll put, a couple of the, Teddy Scotts and those guys on the bench. We're going to be looking at some other guys. And then groups to watch, especially Thursday and Friday. There are some marquee
big groups
going out on the golf course. So, sir, if you're ready, let's grip it and rip it. Okay, so Valero Texas Open. JJ Spaun becomes the first became a 2-time winner of the Valero, surviving a what they've called the weather marathon. 30. Most guys had to play anywhere upwards of 30 holes on Sunday.
Yep.
Edged out Robert McIntyre and Matt Wallace. I'm going to ask you this question, and because this question was originally designed for Mick. But since you have a lot of experience with this with Nina, what is the mental preparation for a player, and even, take your dad hat off.
Sure.
When you were caddying for Nina, what was it like preparing for those tournaments where you knew you're going more than 18? And I'm not talking just because of playoffs.
You start thinking about it when you watch the weather forecast anyway, right? And you start to see it, and you're praying when you see rain on Saturday, or depending on saying Saturday because the tournament, but with Nina, you see rain on day 1 or day 2 of a tournament, and where your tee time is already a lot of times. So they'll forecast, and you're like, I really need to position ourselves to have a later tee time or an earlier tee time based on that weather coming through. We've been trapped multiple times in having to come out the next morning and play, and you just want to finish. Especially a young golfer like Nina when she was little. The last thing they want to do is have to play that many holes in a day and try to turn around and do it. But you have to start mentally preparing yourself before you ever go into that round that's got the weather coming for what is it going to look like. I mean, you even talk to your playing partners and be like, hey, we need to move a little bit today. Right? Because the goal is let's get this in. So we don't have to get up in the morning and come back.
And
tomorrow.
There's a little bit of a different strategy too.
Absolutely.
You've got it. That if you've got a small window to make as many birdies or get out as far as a lead, because sometimes they can call the tournament.
Yes.
And then
we've had that. We've won a tournament. Nina has.
So there's some strategy to it. So I know as a business owner of a multiple sports bars, how great is it when there is a congested leaderboard like we had Sunday, and that they're going to have extended TV coverage because of it?
Oh, it's great.
What does that mean for you guys?
It drives our business. People come in earlier, they stay later. We're sitting in Augusta, and we talked about we have beautiful weather this week. I will be a little selfish and say sometimes I look for a little rain Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday because when they close the course, people have nowhere to go but to go to the restaurants and sit down and have a beer and watch some of the coverage, see what's going on, keep updates. But so we get a little selfish with that when it comes to. But any delays, if you get a rain out on a Sunday afternoon and they got to come back Monday and play, it's great for our business. You got a Monday afternoon where you got people watching golf that normally wouldn't be on TV. So it is a benefit for us selfishly.
And those are the things that, I know we talk about, Mick and I talk about, the TV coverage, the TV windows and stuff like that. But there are business owners like yourself where it's so important for those tournaments to finish at specific times, because then there's other things that come right on the heels of it. Like
Absolutely.
Monday night, we were just talking about it. By the way, congratulations to these two guys,
Absolutely.
our Michigan Wolverines, national men's basketball champions.
Could you imagine this week if the hockey team can hang on and win the Frozen Four on Saturday?
Ooh.
You know how sweet sitting around Sunday watching the Masters going to be, having the last 6 days go in that direction?
Sunday, starting with
Michigan.
Monday with Michigan basketball, Saturday with Michigan hockey, and then Sunday, we're watching the Masters from a beautiful Augusta, Georgia.
Absolutely.
Man, we couldn't get any more luckier.
Doesn't get
Okay.
much better.
Last thing with the Valero, Matt Wallace had to sit in that clubhouse for a few hours.
Yeah.
Birdies 15, 16, 17, and then his chip on 18 narrowly missed. Winning your in moment for Matt Wallace. Let me ask you this. From a perspective of having a competitive player, what is it like having to sit around those clubhouses and wait when you're holding that lead?
It's excruciating. I can tell you that when you have zero control, as an athlete and playing in sports, the one thing you want is a chance. To have, you hear it all the time. I want the ball in my hand when it's time. I want to be able to control my own destiny. And with this sport, to have to sit and just wait, and it's unlike how you normally. Just, hey, hope everybody plays well. I just hope I play a little better. Right? It's not like your other team sports where you hope for failure from the other team. And, to sit there, and you almost have to, right? You feel it. We do it with Nina. We'll be sitting in the clubhouse. She'll have a lead. We're watching girls come in, and they're friends of hers. And you're like, please don't birdie this hole. and it almost is counterintuitive to what golf is all about. So, but it's excruciating because you have no control, and you've relinquished all control. Frustrating for athletes.
Matt had to wait. He watches JJ go birdie eagle to take the lead, so then he can go hop on a plane because he knows that he's not going to win the tournament. Now JJ has to go and sit in the clubhouse and wait for Robert McIntyre to finish, who, by the way, had a chance down at the end to tie, actually literally tie the tournament and send it into playoffs. And I know JJ was on his way to the range when Robert was on 17. So there was that potential for him to have, a potential playoff on that. So congratulations to JJ Spaun. Glad his putter woke up.
Yes, it did.
Finally. I don't know if, and I heard some chatter this morning on some sports talk, namely on a certain station that I listen to. One of the guys was picking JJ Spaun, and I literally was like, do your research, because JJ Spaun has not had a good year,
especially putting.
But his iron play has been off. His driving accuracy has been off. He has not been ready to go. He does not look like the defending U.S. Open champion. The only two things that actually have in common were he played really well, his putter showed up, and the weather played a factor into what helped. Though to JJ, he's got another pair of boots, but I don't see him being a contender here at Augusta. Speaking of, like I said, no Tiger Woods, no Phil Mickelson, Rory, masterpiece, got the Grand Slam done last year. Let me ask you this. And we had talked about it even last year. I know you were a part of the conversation. Mick and I had talked about it quite a bit after Rory won. Does this allow him to win more majors? And really, after his win in Augusta, he disappeared until the Ryder Cup. Shocking. Do you think we see a return of Rory McIlroy this year?
Not this week.
No.
And you just, again, kind of to your point, I think there's got to be some level of lull for him of I've attained it. I've reached it. I don't think that will end his motivation. I
Yeah.
think he's got a lot more. But to your point, he does not look like the same person he did at this time last year. I picked him to win last year. Got
Yep.
lucky enough to
Yep.
make that. It just you could just see it in him where he looked like he was determined and he wanted it so bad. And when he dumped it on 13, I was
Oh,
there. I saw the shot. I saw the angle. It was not a hard chip, and
yeah.
that's what really frustrated. And for him to come back after that and still win that tournament,
Yeah.
you just saw his determination. And that doesn't mean it's not going to return to him. Just watching him play recently, I don't think this is the week where he just flips a switch.
Well, and I agree. Last year coming into the Masters, and yes, you made your pick the week of, or literally the day before the tournament. I made the pick in December.
Yep.
But the one thing that you and I saw, even as he ended the 24 season, Rory was playing really good golf.
Very good golf.
Came into 25, wins at Pebble, wins the Players. So it wasn't like Rory was playing bad golf
Correct.
coming to Augusta. Rory hasn't played great golf yet this year. Yet to be on the top of a leaderboard. I'm kind of with you. I think he wants to get through this week. I think he's happy to be back at Augusta. I don't think he wants this week. As a matter of fact, using Rory's own words, he doesn't want this tournament to even start because he's still the defending Masters champion. And he got to do his dinner and everything. I think once he gets through this, I think then the gears will change and we may see a Rory McIlroy contend, whether it's the PGA. I guarantee you by the U.S. Open and the Open Championship, Rory McIlroy is back on. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of talk going into this tournament. The live guys, Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, both playing good golf. Having a conversation. I think you and I and Mike and Carl were having a conversation a little bit earlier. Jon Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau are playing probably the best golf that they've played on since joining Live.
Sure.
Where do you rank John and Bryson this week and give them their chances on winning the Masters?
I've got them pretty high.
Okay.
We did our little draft and did some picks, and I picked both of them in a different category. Think they're, and to your point, I think from that pressure standpoint of being on Live and coming over for these tournaments, I think that's kind of worn off. Now they just like, we're comfortable here. We're good golfers.
Yeah.
They've extended their tournaments. They're not playing 3-day tournaments. They're playing 4-day tournaments. They're back into that, kind of mentality. And like you said, they're both playing really good golf. This stage will not scare either one of them.
Well,
right?
I think you bring up a great point there. One, now they're playing 72 holes. Two, and I think this is really key for like Jon Rahm. And you saw it after the announcement was made. OWGR points. All of a sudden, Jon Rahm shows up. Now, Jon Rahm was player of the year last year on Live, even though he didn't win a tournament. Joaquin Niemann wins 5. I don't understand how that works. I guess Live math is a little bit different. But and it really matters now for Jon Rahm because he can get those world golf. He's played different golf this year. I think he's a little bit refocused.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
We touched on the weather earlier. It is absolutely gorgeous here. Little on the breezy. As a matter of fact, we have the windows slightly cracked.
A little breezy
here at Twin Peaks in Augusta. Augusta is going to play fast. Where do you think the weather is going to benefit a certain player or certain players differently than some of the other ones?
I do. I think it's gonna benefit those ball strikers, those guys that can square up and iron. You've just got so many approach shots that you can get yourself in trouble on these greens. And when you've got that wind swirling and you're trying to determine where you're going to land and aim that ball, you get a little squirrel. I don't think it'll affect off the tee as much, but it's those approach shots where you've got to you may have to be more precise here than any golf course in the world.
Right.
And when you've got that wind and you're not confident in those irons.
Well, and those greens start getting a little bit on the
firm.
purplish
They'll get
tinty
firm.
side and
There's
that little
no
bit
rain
yellow.
coming.
There's no rain in the forecast. Beautiful flowers.
Yes.
A little bit of breeze.
Fast
That course is going to be fast.
Yep.
So speaking of, because what I want to do now is kind of talk about guys that I titled this segment the men behind the potential green jackets, and so I want to look at a couple of guys: Austin Kaiser, Shea Knight, Toby Tree, Joe Griner, and John Ellis. For those that do not know, Austin Kaiser is Xander Schauffele's caddy.
Yep.
By the way, we'll get into the picks, but just as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Bell from 92.9 The Game here in Atlanta joining. Mike, say hi to the audience.
Hi to the audience. I'm enjoying the content.
Mike is a big diehard golf fan.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, loves to play. Him and his wife Becky play all the time. So glad you could join Tales from the Tips podcast. You want to add anything to?
Well, I'm a 16. Let your weight transfer. That's the key.
Let the weight
I had
transfer.
a Scottish caddy years ago say, let your belly move forward with that.
There you go.
Back to the experts.
We're talking about caddies, so that's perfect.
Speaking of caddies, Shea Knight, Victor Hovland's caddy, Toby Treat, Ludwig Ober. As a matter of fact, they just had a little shot of Ober. Joe Griner, Max Homa's caddy, and then John Ellis, Wyndham Clark. Let me ask you this. Out of Kaiser, Shea Knight, Toby, Griner, and Ellis, Xander, Victor, Ludwig, Max, or Wyndham, who do you give the best chance, and which caddy is going to play a bigger factor in their guy winning their first green jacket?
You know, my pick, little spoiler, is Ober, and I think his caddy is the one, and I think it's him doing anything and everything in his power to avoid that one round keeps having in every tournament, whether it be, and it's been different, right? It's been the opening round and he can't catch up. It's been the third round and he's too far behind. It's shooting even on Sunday and losing a lead and not being able to keep up. I think he's due to break through. I think he's just too good of a golfer, and he looks really confident right now. And I know Sunday he had a shot, he drifted a little bit, but he still shot 2 under. It's not like he went out and shot +2,
right?
And removed himself from competition. I mean, and Spaun passed him. It wasn't like he gave up.
Honestly, if you're really breaking down what has happened with Ludwig this past weekend, and even at the Players, his driver let him down. He started getting a little squirrely off the tee. I do agree. I think Toby could probably help him, and they've got recent memory to fall back into and to be able to go to. One of the reasons why I picked Xander back in December is, one, he's healthy again, but two, the history that him and Austin have on this golf course. And I mean the hard history that really Rory had last year as well. All the painful misses that Xander has had out there, but him and Austin lean back into their major wins.
They've been together for a while through a lot. He's playing good golf. I mean, he's a guy you have to honestly rank in probably in that top 5 or 6 of odds to win this tournament.
Yeah, and with Max, I just have not seen Max Homa play a good round of golf in a while. Victor Hovland for me is I would love Victor to win. I know I've got buddies that are huge fans of Victor Hovland's. I just don't think Victor's game is there right now. And Wyndham Clark is such a streaky player, and he has not been playing a lot of really good. I'm hard to say that John Ellis can pull Wyndham out of it. Now, if anyone can pull Wyndham out of it, it's Wyndham. So we'll see with that. Okay, groups to watch. I actually had to go to the printer here. Obviously, some of the big ones: Morning Wave,
Bryson, Fitzy, and Xander.
Yeah, I mean, you've got some really big ones. You got, well, for example, Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka. Mick has Justin Rose. So now our picks are in. DA's got Xander. Mick's got Justin Rose. I think he's right at it because of Fucci. You have Ludwig Oberg. So there's our picks for the tournament.
And honestly, that's the group where I'm taking my daughter Friday.
Yep.
So we'll start looking Friday. We usually we get out there early, park ourselves at the landing area on 1, and watch group after group come through until we find a group we want to follow. And I can tell you, if I was there tomorrow watching, when you got Rahm and Oberg and
Chris Gotterup
in a group, I would follow them all day long.
I literally had circled, a Bryson DeChambeau,
Fitzy,
Xander, Rory, Cam Young, Mason Howell, the young phenom, out of the state of Georgia.
Just out of personal interest, the Brooks, Spieth, Justin Rose one would be a really fun group to kind of keep an eye on. But
I think out of those groups, that's the group that if they start playing well, they're going to feed off of each other. If they're kind of all doing their squirrely stuff, and Jordan's great at being squirrely, I think that could be a round where it would be like,
get away from a couple of them.
And the tournament's over. The one, honestly, I would love. I really, if I was out there, I don't have tickets. Anyone want to help me?
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm working.
I would want to see that Rory, Cam Young, Mason. I want to see Mason Howell up close in person. I want to be able to say I got to watch that young man play golf before he turned pro.
Yep.
That's a superstar right there. Obviously Rory defending Cam Young. I think Cam Young is a favorite on a lot of boards to win this week.
And he should be.
Another good one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can say what you want about Patrick Reed, Tommy Fleetwood, Akshay Bhatia. Akshay's playing some really good golf right now. Tommy Fleetwood's has been playing good golf since last summer.
Yep.
And Patrick Reed is the hottest player on the DP World Tour right now. I think that would be a fun one.
I just want to watch Rahm, Oberg, like I said, and Gotterup. You have to go to a different spot for viewing for that group.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be where everybody else is landing the ball. People are good. That group's going to be putting the ball.
Freddie Couples mic'd up when he's playing with Minwoo Lee and Pongsak Lipsa. I want to see, because not only does Minwoo hit the ball a country mile, but he plays extremely fast.
Yep.
I love Freddie. Freddie is my favorite. Boom Boom is my favorite. At 66 years of age, speed is not on it. And the way they play on the Champions Tour, that is not the key to success out there. Another group, Scotty Scheffler, Robert McIntyre, Gary Woodland. Yep. Would love to see that group play. Let me throw a couple other ones. One guy to watch this year that I think could be a sleeper and a surprise, Harry Hall. Harry Hall's played some really good golf. Harry Hall, Corey Connors, and Michael Brennan. Michael Brennan playing really good golf right now.
Very good.
Same with Bridgman. I mean, he's leading right now the FedEx points. So, couple of guys
I picked him as my newcomer, if I remember right. The guy kind of to make a little new guy to make a little splash.
I think he could do it. Let me ask you this question. Last time this happened, 1979, Fuzzy Zoeller was the last first-time champion. Who, if possible, could be a first-time playing Masters champion? Does the curse get broken?
It could.
I
think Gotterup with his game has a chance. He doesn't seem super phased by the moment, no matter where you put him in. He plays pretty consistent golf. And if he's hitting the ball off the tee straight, he's going to make the course a little easier.
I was going to say that could be one that, the one guy, I honestly, if I've got a sleeper pick and he's not going to be a first-time player, but I'd love to see it, Harris English. I'd love to see Harris English bring it home. The Georgia boy, but also really good friend, Eric Larson, a good friend of Mick's, caddy for Harris. I'd love to see that. Anything else you're looking forward to watching this week out at the Masters? Are you just, I know you and Nina are getting out there on Friday to walk the course. Anything that you guys are going to be specifically watching or going
No,
after?
you know, we got to spend some time with Spieth.
Yeah.
For Nina.
Yep.
She's a big Spieth fan, as you know. But no, I think trying to hit a couple holes, I mean, it's really difficult to go to this tournament and get a lot of experience on certain holes, or you eliminate a lot of the. So I think trying to hit a couple new holes that we haven't spent a lot of time on. Spent a lot of time, as everybody has, on Amen Corner, you know, that little turn. Spent a lot of time where 6, 16, 15, 17 are all together. That's a pretty common area.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time there. So, you know, a lot of time on 1 and 9. So
Bounce back and forth,
maybe get into some of I've not spent a lot of time at the end on that anywhere near 18.
Yeah.
So I think trying to get a little experience from 18 is probably, you know, versus a player. I want to watch that tee shot. I haven't really got a chance to. So maybe we get out there a little early enough for those early groups.
Yeah.
And watch them coming out of that chute and how tight that really is and how they got to work that ball. So that's probably the one area to see in person and really understand how difficult it is.
Yeah. That would, I was going to say.
And the climb.
For me, I just want to go out there. But if I'm kind of like you, I want to see some of the things. I want to see the elevation change on 9. They talk about that elevation.
You see it in person.
Right.
TV does it absolutely no justice.
Right. Yeah. The shoot on 18. I'd obviously Amen Corner would be a destination spot. I'd love to actually 13 and 15, the 2 par 5s that
13 is a really fun.
Yeah. Those are the holes. I love to go out there and watch those holes because those are the holes that can change the tournament. Like you said earlier, we all thought after Rory dumped it in Rays Creek, the tournament was over. Yep. And then you turn around and he hits the shot of his life on 15. And then all of a sudden he's right back in it. And then in the playoffs, but
seeing where he was on 15 and being on that course, how he hit the shot he hit with the thoughts he had to have in his mind.
It's amazing.
It really is one of the most amazing golf shots I've ever seen.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I think most folks that have never been able to be out on those grounds, but also that have never really truly played in a competitive round of golf. I mean, we can talk about how many rounds you and I have played in our, you know, scrambles and in our foursomes, and we have a good time. The intense amount of pressure that you have to hit when you know a tournament is on the line.
Not just a tournament, chance to win the career Grand Slam in the Masters, and to have the courage 2 holes later to hit that draw around those trees and just stick it. It really is amazing when you just add it all up.
It was something special. Well, my friend, we've got a little get together that we're going to head over to. Let me ask you this last question. And this is the question I was going to ask Mick, because he's if Justin Rose is in the lead on the 16th tee on Sunday, what club does Fooch never let him pull out of his bag?
On 16.
On 16, that par 3 over the water.
It's usually about a
Sunday,
6 iron, right? On Sunday.
Can be anywhere between a 6 and an 8 iron, sometimes 9, depending on that wind.
Probably an 8.
Yeah. Even if the wind's blowing, I don't think I'm letting him hit either an 8 or a 9. No, it's just a smooth
it just
7.
Brings too much into play. Play it a little long. Use the slope.
Yes, lay it out to the right side. Yep. And then let it funnel.
You do that 9 or 8, you bring
too much trouble into play. Yeah.
Now the way literally, it's blowing right toward the water, and so
and you know what Mick would have said. Driver.
Don't let it hit the driver.
Well, thanks for teaming up with us on Tales from the Tips. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe button, drop us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. We love to hear from you. You can find Tales from the Tips wherever you find your favorite podcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and now we are available on iHeart Podcasts. Just search under podcasts for Tales from the Tips. Hit the plus button, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, enjoy. James, you can find us on socials, Instagram, X, and of course, Mick's favorite,
TikTok.
TikTok, that's right. And you can watch this debacle live on the Twitch. Just search under podcasts. We post our schedules. We're live all the time. Buddy,
It was a pleasure.
this has been fun. Always enjoy being up here with you. And we have to get out. We're playing at the end of this month, you and I.
Yes, we are.
We'll keep our drives nice and straight, our putts right on line and in the hole, and we'll keep our scores low. We'll see you next time as we tee it up on Tales from the Tips. Enjoy the 90th playing of the Masters.